So,
very cool. What did you do before you done this?
I used to be a musician between, I would say, between 96 and 2011. And I just, that's a good question, because that's me and Fabio, what we were talking about for the interview when he comes on.
Yeah.
It's all about that time in my life. I'm actually even going to play some of my songs from then. But, yeah, I used to be a musician, so I used to just play with different bands and write and record and just play different instruments. And
would you be writing any soundtracks for the film you're doing?
I looked up some Cubase and some can't remember what the other one was, because none of my Vegas software works with my computer now. I finally got my computer fixed. I go to put my software, which I bought, back on my computer, and it says nope, obsolete. So I can't use any of that. So I hope to get to Cubase so I can mix. I got a couple of good versions. I'm gonna use some of the Jerry Goldsmith scores, some of the Brian Tyler stuff, and slow it down. And I was gonna mix it through guitar pedals.
What, the classic?
Yeah, like for Ko Bao, I'll play you the song that I was gonna use for Ko's scene. Right here. I hope it doesn't close down the recording. Hope. Let's see if it works. Oh, here we go.
It's like hot.
Yeah. It's not long, it's like a minute and a half. And it captures the scene so good because Ko, her dad dies, right? Her dad gets castrated and killed. And it lends to Rambo 2 when Rambo's on the boat with her and she's telling him about her father, and he's kind of got that distant, like, almost like he knows who he is, but he doesn't know who he is. And then when he points to the charm, he's kind of enchanted back into stuff that happened in our prequel with the Buddhist charm.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that. So Ko is actually living in wreckage of Vietnam, 13 years old, on her own. And then Stephen Chang's character, not his younger self, but he also plays his father. Tasso is going to play the young Stephen with a voiceover, but then he's so disgusted by how his kid is treating, the inmates in their prison where Rambo's being held and Ko's dad's being held, and he goes to he's on some kind of reconnaissance thing where he's talking to other generals, presumably meeting up with Dolph's character, and he comes across young Ko Bao, and he gives her back her father's Buddhist charm, and it's a really sad scene. So I wanted to kind of use that song for that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great scene. So that's about it. And people have been telling me that this is a romantic alternate version of the song. Actually, it is. Oops, sorry. Actually, it's on the Rambo 3 soundtrack. I found it. I can't remember what the song is called on the soundtrack, but it is on there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've never heard that before. Mm-hmm. It's like interesting, like music soundtracks what we've never heard of.
Yeah, I think that one's for. I think that was written for the nurse character in Rambo 3, who they replaced. Like if you watch Rambo 3, when he gets to the camp and Yuri says this is the only doctor for 900 miles or something like that, which is a guy. But originally it was a French nurse named Michelle, and she was like 45, and she was taking care of children over there. And her and Rambo actually become like war buddies in the midst of all the carnage that's going around. And we'll be talking about that in great length in
I never knew that.
Rambo 3 special. If you tune into the Rambo 3 special on the 25th, we're gonna talk about the original South America version of Rambo 3, which the original David Morrell script, which was completely different, with Rambo working on high-rise buildings and stuff, and going to South America to help Troutman, who's his wife is his daughter. Troutman's daughter is kidnapped, and Rambo and Troutman gets wounded, and Rambo and Troutman's wife are just like gunning down fucking explosions behind them. They're like amazing. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at Rambo of Arabia. So you're gonna get to see the first prototype of Rambo 3, which is about 90% different in Afghanistan, but it's like 90% different than the movie we got. And then we're going to talk about Rambo 3 and all that. So it's about 3.5 hours.
Jeez.
We're covering the whole book. Like, we're covering David Morrell's whole book from beginning to end. We're not leaving anything out. So.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good to listen to. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. Right, I'm going to jot that down on the calendar.
Well, you'll know when you start seeing like 100 videos drop next week. You'll be like, holy shit, it's the apocalypse.
What a busy man, huh?
Yeah, well, it's weird because like I was looking at the calendar last couple of weeks ago, the first week of May, and I was like, I'm like, my specials are coming up soon. I just don't know what days they are. And then I looked at them, and they're all in the same fucking week. And I was like, God damn, man. There's even one for today on the 18th, but I can't remember what it was. I wrote it down. I can't find the paper with it written down on. And yeah, it's just like, wow. But that's next week, man. 9 hours. 9 hours. It's going to be...
Well, you might be busy because we're watching the DVDs what I've seen you. So
well, yeah, that's when I finish Rambo 3. That's like my reward is to sit down and watch. So when it comes the day, probably the day it comes in the mail, I'll start watching it right off the bat. If I'm finished Rambo 3 or not,
Well, it all depends if you want to go through the Cobra, the Rocky, or the Rambo first, or do you sit through Star Wars? Would you sit through 8 hours of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you watch them, yeah?
I would do them all of them. What I want to do is I want to get the mail. I want the mail to come in. I'll do an unboxing special, where I show all the unboxing, and then I want to talk about each of them individually, and then I want to have you on and cover all of them. So like a 5, 6, 7 hour show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you unbox them, then watch them, and then bring me on, or would you unbox them while we're talking now?
We could do both. We could do like a conversation. I'll unbox it, and I can add that in while I have the unboxing video. We could do both. Yeah.
Well, you can get them in the mail, sit down and watch them for 2 days, then bring me on, and then you unbox them, but you really watch them, and you can tell, like, instead of unbox them, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and then you say, right, we'll come back and we'll watch them first, and we'll come back on afterwards. But you've already seen them, so we can talk about them when you've unboxed them. You've seen them, then we can talk about it then.
Yeah.
Because then you know what to talk about. Because you was that deletes in. I ain't seen that before, and this one and that one. When it's Luke Skywalker went to Tatooine, and he's looking up at the stars, and he can see all the flickering, and he's like got this like little robot, and it blows up like that, and it gets on his speed and goes along. And some of the Star Wars Episode 4 is in black and white.
Okay.
Like Harrison Ford's got a girlfriend, he's sitting there with his arm on her, and there's a bit where they're in the canteen and like Luke Skywalker has an interaction with a guy, and he says, "We don't like your kind of idea." He said, "Oh, sorry." He said, "You will be sorry." He said, "Oh, I'll be careful." He said, "You'll be dead." And then Obi-Wan comes in, this pure black and white canteen scene.
Yeah, like, Greedo.
Hitting him with the swords and that.
Yeah.
There's no lightsabers because it's like a stick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Black and white. But it's stuck, like, if you go on YouTube and put in Star Wars Episode 4 delete scene, just know every single delete scene out there is in the film. But how I've done it is Star Wars to Return of the Jedi, like the crystal clear DVDs of it is the old theatrical versions.
Okay.
Not the special editions or the Blu-rays. It's all pure theatrical, what you see in the cinema back in 77, 82 and 84. They now just added the deleted scenes in there to make it extended.
Sweet.
So what you're seeing is what you would see in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
But we've added deleted scenes in.
Well, thank you for sending them, man, because this is gonna be epic, man. I can't wait to delve into this. This is gonna be like, this is my reward for working so hard this month. Even though like people have been asking me like, why is your first few episodes of this season so short? They're like, that's not like you. Usually you do like 2-3 hours a night. And it's like I can't like, well, you know, I had to. That's pretty much around the same time I realized what was coming. And then Wallace Lee at the same time, he was like, you want to work on a couple of different reviews for my book. So I did one review that we posted last month, but due to copyright, we had to fucking scrap the whole thing, so I had to put them all on lockdown. I had to go back, redo the interview again, and then eventually redo it for a third time to put on this show. And they weren't very long, you know, like maybe an hour. There was like 4 episodes, so maybe it was like an hour long. And then I reran the episode we did where we were talking about how we would do Rambo 5, the one that we did last year. So I reran a part of that. And then this week I didn't have a show because I was working on next week's show. So this is great because now I can use this for this week's show. And then I was just telling people like, don't worry, this stuff is coming. I know that people usually they don't watch the whole thing. They'll watch like the first 2 hours, or they'll watch like an hour, and then they'll come back and watch it later. It's always like the new ones always seem to get left behind for like a month, and then people start watching them.
It's pity that getting back to Star Wars. It's pity that is there a program out there where you can play like the original Star Wars and then the fan edit and play them both together, like both together, and then you can tell the difference compared to what you're watching this side and what you're watching that side.
Well, I think if you get the
you've got like the normal one and the fan edit, they're both playing together, and then you can see like bits cut out what I've added in compared to this version here.
Well, you know there's like a program people are using where you can see like the desktop, and they click. I think if you just open 2 windows, one movie here, one movie there, and just put them side by side, you could probably do it that way. I'm thinking about getting that program, actually. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Is there a place to download that program or not?
I think Isaiah has it, because Isaiah used it for his certain Fury video. If you look up Isaiah, actually, I'll ask Isaiah.
Yeah.
I think you guys are friends on my Facebook. I'm not sure.
Well, we gotta be friends, don't we? You know?
Yeah. I'll send him your way. I'll be like, Isaiah, tell him about this.
So I don't think I've heard that bloke.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of him.
He's the wild man.
No, I don't
The wolf man. Wild Man Beyond. He's
No.
my co-host that I have on sometimes.
Don't think we tagged him on Facebook, no.
Okay. Well, I'll send him your way with that information for that. Actually, I'll ask him. He's Mr. Delmore Berry. I'll ask him where to get it for you. Because that's a wicked program, man.